Hey there everyone. Today I'm going to introduce the first remote event hub. Now the first remote event hub is the platform that F.L.E.S has developed to be used by all events that are virtual. And this year, of course, 2020, 2021, pretty much all of the events are going to be virtual. So the first LEGO League, this is used by first LEGO League Challenge, first LEGO League Explore, and first Tech Challenge. I don't know what's happening in the FRC space, but I know it's being used for these programs. So here we have the volunteer dashboard, which is what you see if you log in and you are a coach or an event volunteer. And in this tutorial, I'm going to be just talking about how you interact with this system as a coach. So as a coach, when you log in, you should see your team or your teams listed. So I have two teams that I'm a coach on. We have 105 Waffles and 37641 House of Waffles. So these two teams will be listed here, and you'll see these Lego icons. These represent the different coaches that are assigned to your team. So all of your coaches, lead coach 1 and lead coach 2, if they've been invited, should be able to see the teams here. Now, if you have additional coaches or mentors who are listed on your team roster, you can ask your tournament director or your program partner to invite them. The important thing is that they have to be on the team's roster. The remote event hub will go out to the other F.L.E.S systems and verify the youth protection status. So you have to basically use the same email that you would use for your other F.L.E.S account, and that's listed on the team roster. So those are your teams and how you get invited. If we scroll down, you will see the different events. Now here we see two events, the Kingston qualifying tournament and the North Bay qualifying tournament. So my teams are competing at Kingston, and I'm an event admin at Kingston. So you'll see a lot of behind the scenes stuff in here. And I'm a judge at the North Bay event. So if you're interacting with other events as coaches or as volunteers, you'll see them all listed here. And we'll go into the Kingston remote qualifying tournament. Now, just give it a second to load. Once we're in here, this is the Kingston event page. We'll see our schedule and all of the important information that we need. So let me just give you a tour. So at the top here, we see our team name. Because I have two teams that are competing at this event, 37641 and Waffles 105, I can use this drop down to change between the teams. So as I'm interacting with the Waffles, uploading materials for team 105, I will use this page, and if I'm interacting as 37641, I'll use that page. And this should be visible on the top of every page that we go to. We'll also see here these tabs across the top. When you log in as a coach, you should only see schedule, matches and scoring, and judging. These other tabs are for referees and judge advisors and judges, which if you're not judging at the event, you won't see them, or if you're not a referee, you won't see them. So don't let those confuse you. Now here you'll see there's these two big buttons for messaging and resources. Now F.L.E.S has set this up so that this basically shows different communication channels that we might use. So for example, if we had a Slack channel for all of the judges to communicate in, it might be listed here. Now all I've listed here is basically my email as a tournament director so that people can email me if they have problems. Reasonably, everyone who has access to this already knows my email. But maybe I'd put up our judge advisor's email, or maybe I'd put up some other resources that we could communicate using. First, this is still a new thing that we're figuring out how to do. So I haven't really leveraged this, but that's there. We also have this resources page that opens up, and it has resources for the season. So the resources that you see, I believe, will vary based on who you are, what your roles are. But for the most part, this is information you should already have. This is nothing really new, but it's here for you if you need it. And then we see the schedule. So the schedule has all of these different sessions. I can actually see all of the sessions because I'm an event admin, so when I log in, I see everything. Your team, you should only see one session for your judging. So that can be a little bit confusing if you are participating as both an event admin and a coach. Hopefully, though, if you're an event admin, you know what's going on. And then at the end, we have our closing ceremony. So this is the schedule that's set up. Now, I can also add in extra meetings here. So I've got the coaches meeting scheduled for Monday, February 8th, and there's a join button. And this is how, as a coach, you will join a meeting, or this is how you will basically interact with the event, is this big join button. For my event, I'm messaging out these Zoom links to everyone, but this is just a Zoom link. So you press this join button, it opens up Zoom. It doesn't actually, we don't use the Remote Event Hub as a video conferencing platform. We just use it to collate all of this information together. So here for the coaches meeting, we press the join button at the right time. And then for your judging session, you also get a join link. And then for the opening and closing ceremonies, there's a join session link there as well. For this, you have to list both an opening and closing ceremony. So even though my event, we only have a team celebration, a closing ceremony, we have to list both an opening and a closing ceremony, which can be a little bit confusing. But basically, there's just one session. I've given them both the same date and time to kind of reduce confusion, but I can see how this is still pretty confusing. And at the bottom, you've got the event sponsors. So that's the schedule. This is where you'll find all of the schedule information for your team, obviously. If we go over to the matches and scoring section, we will see where we would upload all of our matches. So there are 4 matches that you need to upload: the practice match and 3 official matches. And each one of these has a strict due date. Once the due date has passed, you may not upload materials, as far as I know. So you'll have the due date is listed on each one of these. You can press choose file and select whichever file it is that has your judging session in it, or your robot match session. Now, first has guidelines on how to record your match. For my event as well, I've also published some guidelines on what we expect from all of the judging, from all of the robot games, what angle to use, and stuff like that. So there might be stuff that varies from event to event. So make sure that you check in with your event director. Even within our region, Ontario, I know there's variances, and we've tried to unify it and make it as easy as we can, but I know there'll still be subtle differences between the events. We're all still figuring this out as we go, so you see that. If you have not been able to log in and use the Remote Event Hub at our event, we are giving you a Google form that you can use. So hopefully your event will give you an alternative if for whatever reason you can't use this system. I know some people have had trouble logging into it. But yeah, this is where you'd upload all of your different matches. One other note is that because this is all new this year, these should all be separate matches. there's this idea in F.L.E.S that to be eligible to win any award, you have to participate in all parts of the competition. And part of that is that, you have to have your 3 official matches and your practice match, and they all have to be different. So while it might be tempting, if you've got a really great session from one of your games is just great, it's the maximum points you can get, you still need to do 2 more official match videos. And if you have your best session in your practice match, you can't reuse that for your official matches. They all have to be different. So I just wanted to highlight that. We also have the judging tab, and this is where your team will upload your different judging material and get your results back. So in this box here, results and feedback, this is where you'll get your results, obviously. Below here, we have 3 sections that you can upload. You have your Coach Mentor Award nomination, your Innovation Project presentation, a video, and your robot design presentation. At the Kingston event, we aren't using any of this. So you will be doing your innovation project live. So we don't actually need you to upload this here for judging. And your robot design, you're also going to be doing that presentation live. And if you have any supporting materials at the Kingston event, we're saying that you can upload them in Zoom. Again, this will vary event to event. So the guidelines to team attending Kingston is ignore this page, don't upload anything, because it won't be looked at, or at the very least it won't help you. So there's that information there. I can't turn these off right now, so we're basically stuck with them, but perhaps in a future update we'll have those turned off so it's less confusing. And until you upload stuff here, it'll still say that there's missing materials. Again, don't worry about that. The guidance we're giving to teams is that you don't need to upload anything, so don't worry about it. And that's the Remote Event Hub. So that's the 3 sections: the schedule, the matches, and the judging. And that's how you would upload all of your different material. Now, I'm hopeful that in this matches and scoring section, you should be able to see the event results. So your score. If you can't see your score here, at the very least, we'll be doing match reviews with each of the teams so that the teams can get their scores back. Similar to what you would do at an official event, where you review the rubric with the referee before it becomes official. So hopefully other events are going to do that as well. The purpose of this practice match, and the reason it's due earlier than the official matches, is so that if any... I know there's a ton of different rules and regulations on how you should set up your table and run your robot. So this is to help your referees identify those issues to you before you do your official matches. So this is due on Friday. Theoretically, Saturday you would get either the thumbs up or the thumbs down from the referees. And then later on Saturday or on Sunday, you could record your official matches. So that's kind of the flow of how the robot matches would go. So that's the Remote Event Hub. I know that there's going to be issues with it. I know already, especially from the event admin side, I've run into so many issues. I have a laundry list that I've sent to F.L.E.S. But this is a new platform, and it was made pretty quickly, and it actually really, really simplifies a lot of the stuff, the manual labor associated with running remote events. So we're going to give it the best shot we can this year at Kingston, and I believe the other events in Ontario are going to be using this as well. And hopefully it works well. And if it doesn't, we'll have some good feedback for F.L.E.S that we can send back to them. And the other thing I wanted to say is that no team would ever be penalized if they use this wrong somehow at our event. We would find a way to help you upload your material in an alternative format. At least for this year, we know it's all new. The pandemic has really brought a lot of stress to people. I'm not going to get, super critical onto the rules with people. We're going to try to do everything the correct way, but we might have to find some workarounds because of the pandemic. Hopefully we don't have to. Hopefully everything runs smoothly. Hopefully there's no issues, but just expect that when you're using it, some things might not quite work as you expect. Anyway, so that's my little introduction to the Remote Event Hub for Teams. If you have any questions, leave a comment. If you're going to the Kingston Remote Qualifying Tournament, you've already got my email, so you can send me an email with any questions. And have a great season this year. Bye, guys.